So in this particular video, we are going to understand about how do we make the input to VLOOKUP, which is dynamic, as in the previous video, which was about uh, doing summation of multiple columns using VLOOKUP as an array function, where we saw that the input to the lookup, which is the which column we have to pick up or which column the Excel will pick up, was the static, and that was the only problem, and that was the only part which was static. Now if we can make that also dynamic, then it's really handy in the sense that we can also define what all values we will need um, at any particular point of time. So now there is so we need the column values to be dynamic as well. So over here we have taken a small example saying that which month we have to start and how many month data which we need. Now in the quarter we need 3-month data, but there can happen that we need 6 months data. So we can start, or we can mention that the start month is going to be 1 and I need 6 months of data. So my total summation should be from 1 to 6. Now how do we do that? So in this particular scenario, in this particular formula, this part where we pick the columns and use it as an arrow function is going to be a dynamic. Now let's see how this is going to be. For that we need to mention something called as indirect function and a row function. How do we implement that? We will see that. Before that, this input needs to be dynamic. So how do we make it dynamic? We need to concatenate which rows, which column we need to pick it up basically. So over here, for this particular row, which is laptops row, because I have selected laptops as an input, for this particular row I need this column data, 6 column data, because all this is are vertical. So I need January, February, March, April, May, June data. So I need technically from 1 to 6. So how do I do that? So I just write concatenate function over here. I'll take this 1. I am trying to create a range for something else. What is the something else will come in a while, but I'm trying to create a range 1 to 6. Basically I need 6 months data. So you can just mention this 1 to 6. How many months is 6? So 1 to 6 is defining the now. It can be 3 to 8. So it could have been 3 to 11. So how many months? We just need a slight modification here. We just need to input here. So basically, starting from 1 month, I need 6 months data, which is 1 plus 6 is going to be 7. So I need 7th month data in and out. If I need 1 to 6 as in half yearly data, then I can mention here 5. So basically I need data from 1 to 6. Now my final output, final sum is going to look like something. So VLOOKUP, or we can simply copy this formula equal to. Now instead of this, what we have to do is we have to have this particular range which is 1 to 6. Now how do we have that particular range? Is through indirect function. Indirect function, I have given a reference to C20. That means, so before we jump here, let's get this done. Indirect, when I'm using indirect function, so here we are going to use 3 functions, or 2 functions, which is addition to VLOOKUP and sum, which is indirect and rows. Now indirect function will give me the output for that particular cell. So if I might be using indirect, my cell reference is going to be C20. Then it will give me an output of 1 to 6, which will be a part of this particular formula. We will get to that particular point. Now when I used this indirect directly, it did not give me an output. Now how do we make this work? So indirect is kind of an giving an output for that particular cell reference. So now we have to have that cell reference into picture, which is, let's say, C20. I need output which is in C20. Now if I give a cell reference of this particular cell, which is E20, which contains C20, and C20 contains 1:6, then it will give me 1:6. Now I don't want this entire hassle. I simply want 1:6. Now if I directly give reference to C20, it takes 1:6, but it does not understand what 1:6 is doing. So if we evaluate this particular formula using fx function in the Excel, so you will see here that it takes 1:6, but then it does not understand what it has to do once it is taken 1:6. But our understanding or our final output is basically we just take 1:6 and count how many rows or how many set of data it has to take, and hence we will use row function. Row function over here when we close the bracket, and when we press Ctrl Shift Enter, it should give us an output. So internally, even if indirect C20 is not giving us an output directly, row function will just count how many rows are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many values are there? Basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we just take this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 3, 7, 9, 1. However, this is again not completely true, completely not fine. Why? Because we want data for 6 months and not for 5 months. It is taking for 5 months. We want data for 6 months. Why it is acting like this? Because when we are using VLOOKUP, we are starting from this first column. However, this data which we are getting it, which is for the first month, it is actually in the second column. Hence there is a confusion. Understand the point. When we are taking a VLOOKUP, our first column is B column, but we want actual data from the C column, which is actually in the second column in that particular data set. So now what we have to do? So we actually want data for the second column, third column, fourth column, fifth, sixth, seventh column from January to June. So basically from second column to seventh column. So instead of taking this 1:6, we can simply add 1 to both. 2 to 6 and plus 1 over here, 2 to 7, Control Shift Enter, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you see the summation is 4, 5, 2, 4. So while we are doing VLOOKUP as an array function with all the inputs dynamic, so we can actually hide this somewhere, and then we can just display final sum. So start month can be anything, 2 to 5. How many months? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from 2 to 7 months. So from second month, 5 months. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. From second month onwards, 5 months ahead. So it will be from 2 to 7. So second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7. So it is 4 to 4, 1. From second month, I need 5 months extra. If I need from data from second to 6, which is like 4 months ahead of second, so we can write this and we'll get the answer. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is 3, 5, 7, 6. Now everything is dynamic. Even if I change this, let's say for computer, I will get the same output. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 8, 8, 4. Now entire thing is dynamic over here. We can just present this and this two thing in our final dashboard. Everything else can be hidden. So we can actually hide this. Again, my output will not be affected, and the end user will not get to know what exactly has been done on the face of it. If it goes into the formula nitty-gritties, then obviously they will come to know, but otherwise they will not come to know. So that's pretty much about this particular video. Hope you like it. Thank you. For more such videos, you can like, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, and you will be updated about what all we post in our YouTube channel. Thank you.